thought we was going to the Capitol.
Well, we are, but we're going to see them first.
Simon, we've determined that you do, in effect, lead a double life.
I learned about Jackie Shane for the first time through Queer Songbook Orchestra.
Nobody knew where she was for 45 years.
She retired quite suddenly from show business in the early 1970s and led, almost extremely private life up until the 2010s when she was sort of rediscovered.
Helping her regain recognition was the 2017 release of a compilation album, Any Other Way, which got a Grammy nomination for Best Historical Album.
So I went to a show and I heard about Jackie Shane, and then I heard Any Other Way.
Tell her that I'm happy. Tell her that I'm gay.
And I was blown away.
Tell her I wouldn't have it any other way.
And I was moved to tears, and I thought, how cool is it that there was a black trans woman who's an iconic musician in Toronto.
I got a new way of loving, baby.
Jackie was born in Nashville in 1940, and when she was 13 years old, she came home and told her mom something she was holding back for years.
I think about just how dangerous it was to be an openly trans black performer.
Jackie was uniquely herself, and, she was able to power through and have the confidence to be who she authentically was.
They wanted me not to wear makeup, not to do this. I said, forget it.
But then when you try and find information about Jackie, it's really, really hard to find.
Yeah.
It hasn't been documented properly. A lot of the articles, there's some, misgendering of Jackie.
Jackie there's only one piece of film footage of Jackie on the Nashville show Night Train, and it's an amazing piece of footage, but she didn't like doing shows like that. She liked these live, intimate things. She said no to the Ed Sullivan show. She said no to American Bandstand, Ed Sullivan because they wouldn't let her wear makeup, Bandstand because it was racist. So, and there was other factors to why Jackie didn't do TV and film and stuff like that, but there is a good amount of incredible live audio of her playing.
Simon, you told us earlier that you take female hormones.
I started on it.
And what has it done to you?
I put on weight.
How about your breasts?
Oh, they don't start forming for about 2 or 3 weeks.
Are you happy?
Oh, yes, I am.
What would make you even more happy?
If I'd be able to have a change from man to woman.
What does that involve?
First of all, it involves a lot of money. Doctors charge a lot of money for this.
What is the actual surgical procedure?
Oh, it's not castration anymore like they used to do in the olden days. Nowadays, they keep everything on you, except they just stick it inside.
So your book is a children's book?
Yeah, actually, it is. If kids are exposed to I Am Jazz, which is a book that tells them that it's possible to be born in the wrong body, then I can provide just an alternative narrative.
There seems to be a number of very unfortunate cross streams coming on, impacting the children that you're speaking about. We have the hardcore activists, but we also have a cultural climate of radical LGBT etc. acceptance.
And you get so much attention, you become the sort of king or queen of your class. Your teachers have to call you by a different name and a different pronoun.
Yeah, and that's something that's really scary to me. What I've found is that there are really a lot of people who have no idea that children as young as 8 years old are getting put on puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones, and 13-year-olds are having their breasts cut off, and 15-year-olds are having their testicles removed.
In some states in America, age 13, if you're a girl who thinks she's a boy, you can have your breasts surgically removed. Puberty blockers might start at the age of 10.
And many of the states have actually banned the therapy that helped me.
Why did talk therapy work for you?
The dysphoria was caused by an underlying issue. It's not that I'm inherently born in the wrong body. I experienced a sexual trauma when I was a very young child. And as a result of that, I didn't want to be a girl anymore. One of the things that little kids do when they're traumatized is to disassociate from themselves. And they actually oftentimes will create a whole nother identity so that they can kind of pretend that that trauma happened to somebody else. I wanted to go into the boys' bathrooms. I wanted to be called Timothy. And my first grade teacher was so concerned that she called in the school psychologist to do an assessment. If they had just affirmed me and said, okay, you're a boy, we'll go ahead and treat you like a boy, then all that self-shame that I had as a result of the sexual assault, all of that need to disassociate from myself and create a new identity would have been reinforced. Instead, I was able to slowly accept that I am a woman, or I would be a woman, and that it wasn't my body's fault that I had been assaulted. And so the treatment for that is going to be to resolve those underlying feelings.
That used to be treated as a multiple personality disorder, but that got out of hand, kind of like transition got out of hand, and then it was reclassified as dissociative disorder or something like that. Now there's an approved dissociation across gender lines.
I was actually diagnosed with the dissociative identity disorder, very much like multiple personality disorder became this huge thing, I think, after there was some press and some movies, and then everybody was being diagnosed with multiple personality disorder. The thing is, when I was working with therapists, they didn't encourage me to disassociate. They encouraged me to integrate. I can't even imagine the devastation to my health that kind of medical transition would have caused. I already have some autoimmune issues as an older person. If my joints are this bad, I can't imagine what kind of shape I'd be in if I'd gone that route.
Doctors, they make quite a bit of money. There's a pharmaceutical industry. They make a huge amount of money. They get medical patients for life.
When they didn't give these kids the opportunity to resolve those underlying issues, often what happens is these kids, they get pushed down this path, and they take every medical intervention possible, realize it hasn't helped, and then they're a mess because they have damaged their bodies. Often they're financially in debt, they're medicalized for life, and they still haven't dealt with the underlying issues that caused the dysphoria in the first place.